Welcome to the He's Got Issues Independent Comics Edition number 161.3. I'm John Cooney here to preview new independent comics being released February 18th, 2015, beginning alphabetically with Boom Studios and Burning Fields number 2 of 8. As new murders arise across the oil fields of Iraq and their surrounding cities, strange alliances form. Dana and Abin delve into one another's past in the search for the killers, while Verge, the private military company that blocks Dana and Abin at every turn, makes its own inroads on the case. Next, we have Eternal number 2 of 4. After the explosive events of the first issue, the New Life Corporation wants to destroy the Human Liberation Army now more than ever. Rathman is charged with hunting down the HLA's leader, Gale. In a world of immortal clones, does life truly have meaning? We've also got Lumberjanes number 11. Mal and Molly are on an adventure they don't really understand, but they will rely on each other to make it back to their friends in camp. What is the Bear Woman up to this time? And what are Joe, April, and Ripley up to while their friends fight for their lives? Next, we have Peanuts number 25. In celebration of the 65th anniversary of Peanuts, we're releasing this oversized ad-free extravaganza. If you find yourself missing summer in the cold days of winter, we're bringing it back to warm your spirits. It's time for the Peanuts to go to summer camp. We've also got Plunder number 1. After facing off with an illegal Chinese vessel, a gang of Somali pirates tries to board what they think is a research vessel, only to find themselves in the midst of a massacre. As their worst nightmares become reality, the 14-year-old boy who went from translator to reluctant pirate not only becomes the key to survival, but must decide for himself how far he's willing to go in the name of self-preservation. Next, we have regular show number 20, Genies for Everyone. In this outrageous conclusion to my own private gumball, a poorly conceived wish lands everyone in the park with their own magic lamp. That's bad news for the gang, especially since they're already up to their eyeballs in trouble, or in Rigby's case, up to Benson's eyeballs. Spring break ends here. We've also got Rocket Salvage number 3 of 6. Behind the wheel of a salvage space hauler, on the run from an armada of robot religious zealots and catering to the whims of a wild, mad scientist alien, the Rockets are in for a lot more than they bargained for. Luckily, if life has taught them anything, it's that nothing good ever comes easy. Next, we have Sons of Anarchy number 18. How did Happy get that first smiley face tattoo? This self-contained issue delves into the fan-favorite character's origins, giving a glimpse of how everyone's favorite psychopath came to be. Spoiler, it ain't pretty. And we've got Suicide Risk number 22. With his newly adopted Earth at stake, Requiem must forge an alliance with the powerful entity more dangerous than himself, Aza. The follower of a great and ancient goddess, Aza and her sister Diva may hold the key to closing the fault line once and for all, but which side will Tracy find herself when they do? From Dark Horse Comics, we've got B.P.R.D. Hell on Earth number 128. The B.P.R.D's attempt to kill the monster terrorizing a snowy mountainside have failed. While the team tries desperately to escape, one man stands against the monster, the mysterious Agent Howards. Will this warrior from the past be able to kill the beast or be crushed in its path? Next, we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 10 number 12. Buffy and her crew are on the cusp of some monumental relationship stuff, but entanglements are waylaid when they're forced to fight a new evil and the flesh homunculi he creates. We've also got Creepy Comics number 19, ring in spring with more thrills and chills than you can shake a baseball bat at, featuring pugnacious paintings from Richard P. Clark and brutal ball games from Ivan Cohen and Attila Futaki, plus hilarious tales of the creepy family from Peter Baggy and Dan Braun. Next, we have Dark Horse Presents number 7. In this 80-page 200th issue of the multiple Eisner and Harvey Award-winning anthology, Mike Mignola and Fabio Moon revisit Hellboy's time in Mexico with follow-up to their story, The Coffin Man. Fred Van Lent delivers a story about the telepathic cyborg gorilla Ape X, Brendan McCarthy's Dream Gang returns, and Sergio Aragonis delivers the first chapter of a new Groo tale with writer Mark Evanier. Features a story from Gillian Flynn of Gone Girl and Dave Gibbons of Watchmen. 80 pages, 3 Eisners, 3 Harveys, $5. Mike Magnolia with Fred Van Lent, Alex DeCampi, Damon Gentry, Ed Brisson, Matt Kint, Brendan McCarthy, Mark Evanier, Gustavo Duarte, Gillian Finn, Dave Gibbons, Fabio Moon, Miguel Sepulveda, Jerry Ordway, Aaron Conley, Michael Walsh, Sergio Aragonis, Gabriel B., and Eric Powell. We've also got 8 number 1 of 5. Welcome to the Meld, an inhospitable dimension in time where Joshua, a chrononaut, finds himself trapped. With no memory or feedback from the team of scientists that sent him, he can't count on anything but his heart and a stranger's voice to guide him to his destiny. Next we have Groo, Friends and Foes number 2. The year of Groo continues. As Groo roams from town to town wreaking his usual havoc, he runs into his beloved Granny Groo, who raised him from an inept young toddler to an even less apt older idiot. Can she use Groo in a profitable scheme? Well, what do you think? From Sergio Aragonis and Mark Evanier with Stan Sakai and Tom Luth. And we've got The Strain, The Night Eternal, number 6. With their backs against the wall, outnumbered and outmatched in the vampire blood farm known as Camp Liberty, Dr. Ephraim Goodweather and his rebels could use some divine intervention. Thankfully, the sky is falling. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Alice Cooper, number 6, Life and Death of the Party. Alice Cooper, the Nightmare Lord, has reclaimed the seat of power in his own dark realm. It's time to celebrate with a full-on tour of the weird dream world that our hero calls home. But there's something sinister lurking in the shadows. Who is doubting Thomas, and what does he want with Alice? It's a done-in-one tale of terror. Next, we have Dawn Vampirella, number 3 of 6. Dawn and Vampirella start to understand that all the world is a stage as they tell stories while plotting their escape from the demon Mesodic. Dawn tells the tale of a young girl who trades her innocence for a greater understanding of the cosmos, and Vampirella tells the story of a girl from a planet where the rivers run red with blood. We've also got Evil Ernie, number 4. With Carrie and Jane defeated, Ernie and Smiley, along with their reluctant sidekick Mary, hit the road to find and stop Mistress Hell's other lovers. However, the hunters become the hunted as 2 of her lovers already have Ernie in their sights. Will the trio be able to survive Mr. Sloth and Wicked Walter? Next, we have King Mandrake the Magician, number 1 of 4. It's time to put on a show. Welcome to the King, full of impossible trickery and demonic destruction and heartbreaking villainy and witch doctoring and global catastrophe and smirking sleight of hand and dapper determination. Witness Magical Mystery by Eisner Award winner Roger Langridge and Jeremy Treese with a connecting King cover by comic legend Darwin Cook. We've also got Legendary Green Hornet, number 1 of 5. From the pages of Bill Willingham's Legendary, it's Green Hornet and Kato goggles deep in an all-out steampunk gang war. We've got airships, electric velocipedes, semi-automatic blunderbusses. Each gang and gang lord is weirder than the last, beginning with the child psychopath who starts the war, the adorable and deadly Little Lord Homicide. But who's pulling the boys' strings? Next, we have Lone Ranger Vindicated, number 4 of 4. The thrilling conclusion to Lone Ranger Vindicated has it all, including a Wild West carnival, but the end comes at a cost as the Ranger and Tonto square off with the killers responsible for stealing the town's money and murdering its most prominent citizens. It's a showdown not to be missed in the bloody town of Red River. We've also got Mercy Thompson, number 5 of 6. Mercy Thompson's all-new comic book adventure continues in a story by New York Times bestselling author Patricia Biggs. Jessie's the prime suspect in her classmates' disappearances, so Mercy seeks advice from the legendary Z, a spokesman for the Fae. Meanwhile, Jessie receives a phone call that may just spell the end for her. You've never read a Mercy Thompson story like this before. Next, we have Pathfinder Origins, number 1 of 6. An exciting new Pathfinder adventure begins. To prove themselves to the Pathfinder Society, Valeros, the fighter, and his companions must recount tales of their early exploits in a world beset by magic and evil. In this issue, Valeros crosses swords with the brazen barbarian Amiri when both serve as hired guards escorting a doomed caravan through the treacherous blood-sworn Vale. Sword and Sorcery Thrills from Pathfinder publisher Eric Mona and art from Rising Star Tom Garcia. Contains pull-out poster map and official Pathfinder RPG bonus encounter. We've also got Red Sonja 100, who knows how to celebrate 10 years of Dynamite publishing better than the she-devil with the sword herself, Red Sonja, and she's invited some serious barbarian bards to help. Past and present Sonja scribes Gail Simone, Luke Lieberman, Mike Oming, and Roy Thomas, the man who started it all, pair up with beloved artists for this phenomenal 5-story supersized anthology celebrating Red Sonja and her many roles and sojourns throughout the Hyborian Age. Next, we have Solar Man of the Atom, number 9. Earth, it's pretty cool. There's Cable and other stuff. But now that Erica's been all around the universe and discovered that she can do pretty much anything, the transition back to normal life has been kind of challenging. Luckily, she's got distractions, like her ghost dad bugging her about galactic math, her brother trying to screw her out of her inheritance, and villains trying to take over the world. It's enough to make a girl want to adopt 30 or so dogs and cats. Check out a brand new arc of Solar. We've also got Terminal Hero number 6 of 6, last issue. Rory Fletcher has come face to face with the dangerous Mia and Minesh, and now he must overcome the strange worlds that their awful drug-addicted powers create. In this final issue of Terminal Hero, an old enemy reappears, forcing Rory to face once again the hideous realities of the tumor kid. Can Rory survive Mia and Minesh and escape the terrible tumor monster? Can he escape the death sentence that began this entire journey? And after this final bruising, shocking issue, will he be in any fit state to return to his adopted family waiting for him in California? Next, we have Twilight Zone number 12, the final issue of J. Michael Straczynski's epic return to the Twilight Zone. Wall Street embezzler Trevor Richmond, who exchanged one life for another and ended up with neither, barista Diana Westby, who blinked in the face of a nuclear terror and disappeared into eternity of fear, and private investigator Roy Chambers, who has entered the past and must make the ultimate sacrifice for another. 3 stories, 3 lives that converge in this final issue. One final choice in this final issue has the potential to save all of them or destroy them. You may think you know what happened in the first 11 issues of this series, but can you ever really be sure about anything in the Twilight Zone? And we've got Vampirella Fairy Tales number 5 of 5, the celebration of the 45th anniversary of the creation of everyone's favorite vampire vixen reaches its sense-shattering conclusion in the 5th and final issue of Fairy Tales. Vampirella is shocked when she meets the pun-happy storyteller face-to-face, only to end up hip-deep in alligators in Steve Niles' swamp monster retelling of the Frog Prince. Then, in Nancy A. Collins' twisted take on Sleeping Beauty, a major character from the original Warren run is reintroduced when Vampirella finally discovers the true identity of her mysterious doppelganger and learns about her hidden connection to the enchanted book she is trapped inside in a weird and wicked resolution that ties in with the ongoing monthly title, provided Vampy can escape with a castle full of walking dead that have woken from their centuries-long slumber with a royal appetite. From Image Comics, we've got Autumnlands Tooth and Claw number 4. With the great champion away, the city is vulnerable to Goodfoot's machinations. Next, we've got Bitch Planet number 3. Too Big to Fail reveals the specific events leading to zafting Penny Roll's incarceration. Robert Wilson IV joins Kelly Sue DeConnick on art duties for this flashback issue. We've also got Deadly Class number 11. Marcus and Maria fight for their life and their love as the sins of their past come crashing down all around them, wielding Uzis, shotguns, and machetes. Steel your nerves for the heart-pounding finale to the second arc of Rick Remender and Wes Craig's Deadly Class. Next, we have Drifter number 4. A killer is loose in Ghost Town and monsters roam the streets. Every step Pollux takes towards the truth brings him closer to the grave. We've also got The Fuse number 10, Gridlock Part 4, What Does Terrorism Look Like on a Space Station? Clem and Ralph are about to find out, and so are you lucky readers. Next we have Goners number 5, We All Fall Down Part 5, Hard answers and death await as the Latimirs take the fight to Bellwether Sanitarium. We've also got Invincible number 117, A Family Adrift. Next, we have 9th Generation number 2. Aphrodite 9 has the Witchblade, and several other artifacts have also appeared, destroying the delicately balanced Utopia. Who is wielding the darkness, and why is it so hell-bent on killing all of the 9s? We've also got Lazarus number 15, Conclave Part 5. The Conclave concludes, and Malcolm's plan seems on the verge of success, but one thing still stands in his way. Jacob Hawk has demanded a trial by combat, and now forever must fight the Lazarus of Hawk's choosing to the death. Next, we have Manifest Destiny number 13, new story arc. Venturing deeper into the Heartland, the expedition discovers another arch, which can only signal new trouble, while Sacagawea experiences complications with her pregnancy. We've also got MPH number 5 of 5. Down to the last MPH pills, the gang finds their speed powers running on empty just as the feds close in. Will they have enough juice to make it through a final showdown? And at last we learn what makes the mysterious Mr. Springfield so dangerous. Miller and Figueredo dish up an epic finale you'll never see coming. Next we have Peter Panzerfaust number 23, On Till Morning Part 3. Paris burns, ammunition depots are blown sky high, fueling stations burn in a raging inferno, and no German official is safe from the vengeant hand of the Lost Boys. A war is coming. We've also got Rain number 2, captured by Mathal, one of the mysterious Ven. Rain is imprisoned in the minds of Menica, and the witch Seth must rescue him. Next we have Rumble number 3. It's literally a whole new world of head-lopping action in this issue as things really start to open up and all the broken pieces come together. Finally, we're bringing you the origin of Rathrak, and in a way the origin of everybody else too. We've also got Savage Dragon number 202. Stripped of his lightning powers, Malcolm Dragon finds that he can no longer rely on the one thing that has kept him alive. Now he faces his most fearsome challenge yet, at a time when he's at his most vulnerable. Malcolm Dragon fights the deadly damsels of the Vicious Circle: Raptor, Vane, Samurai, Insect, Tigress, Volcanic, Climax, Double Page. Next, we have Secret Identities number 1. The supergroup known as the Frontline have just invited new hero Crosswind to join them, but what they don't know is that Crosswind is a mole sent to learn all their secrets, and the Frontline have lots of secrets. Writers Brian Jones and Jay Farber and the stunning art team of Elias Karizis and Charlie Kirchhoff bring you classic super team action and intrigue for the 21st century. Behind every mask is a secret. And we've got Thrilling Adventure Hour presents Sparks Nevada, Marshall on Mars number 1 of 4, based on the hit Nerdist podcast. Shine your Astro Spurs and don your robot fists. Justice rides a rocket steed across the crimson plains of the 4th planet, where one man brings fear to robots and aliens, and hope to humans who make this frontier planet their home. He is Sparks Nevada, Marshall on Mars. From Valiant Entertainment, we've got Ivor Time Walker number 2. From the award-winning team that brought you Archer and Armstrong, New York Times best-selling creators Fred Van Lent and Clayton Henry continue a century-spanning race against the clock. At this very moment in Geneva, Switzerland, history is being made. 1,000 meters underground inside the Large Hadron Collider, researcher Neela Sethi is about to discover time travel and jeopardize her life in the process, but she doesn't know that yet. 10 minutes from now, every deadbeat chrononaut, wannabe conqueror, and misguided protector of the time stream will be banging down her door. Good thing that legendary Ivor Time Walker got there first, right? Now it's down to history's most jaded, most tempestuous time traveler to stop the worst of everything that is, was, and will be before time runs out. Next, we've got Unity number 15, all new arc. New York Times bestselling writer Matt Kint and Harvey Award nominee Pere Perez rebuild the world's most elite super team one member at a time. The United have left Unity decimated, a member lost, a terrible secret revealed, and the entire world turned against them. Not Harada, not Dr. Silk, not even the mighty armor hunters left the team as fractured as this. Now Unity must decide where their place is in this new world and whether they will stand together or fall apart, beginning with the one teammate that might just be the most dangerous of all, the lethal intelligence operative called Ninjak. And we've got Valiant number 3 of 4. As the world teeters on the brink of a new dark age, Superstar creators Jeff Lemire, Matt Kint, and Paulo Rivera recruit each of Valiant's most formidable heroes into the 10,000-year-old battle for the fate of all mankind. The entire Valiant universe faces off against the immortal enemy. Can they help Eternal Warrior succeed where he's failed so many times before? Civilization's best hope against the darkness may lie in the unlikeliest of romances. Okay, so that's a look at some of the top independent publishers this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and DC videos for this week, as well as my usual roundup of all my favorites for the week with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.